Your standards will always be too high for men too small to meet them. In order for them to feel satisfied in that relationship, you gotta lower their standards for this man to feel more adequate. You gotta pretend to be less strong in order for this man not to feel weak. You gotta dim your light just so he feel like he can shine. Anytime you decide to become less of a woman to make this man feel more of a man, you lose. Ain't wrong with your standards besides you trying to force men to grow up in order to meet them. Some of you guys have the most reasonable standards in the world, that someone treats you fairly, that somebody is loving and present. Your standards ain't too much. It's just too much for toxic men that want to leech. They don't want to give. They just want to take. They want to break. They want to play. Ain't wrong with your standards besides you trying to force them on a man that clearly is incapable of living up to them.
When you set your standards or you set your boundaries, people are going to say, oh, you think you're all that. I am. And I don't care. I am.
There's one thing you should never do, which is lower your standards just to keep someone in your life or to fit in where they don't belong. Because the moment you settle, you sell yourself short. Let's get into why your worth should never be up for negotiation.
I never understood why people got upset when other people expressed their standards. You want a man that knows how to build a house and you don't even know how to build a house. Right. That's why I want you to know how to. The realest shit ever is people don't want you to raise your standards because they know that they'd never be able to meet them. They'd rather you lower your standards to put yourself in a position that makes them feel more comfortable. You want a man that don't cheat on you, don't disrespect you or abuse you, but your ex did all that stuff. Yes, I made a mistake. I'm learning from that mistake. I'm choosing not to make that mistake again. Is that okay? If a man only wants to marry a woman that has abs that can crack a walnut with her ass, should we tell him to like something different to make us feel more comfortable? The answer is no. Never lower your standards to make others feel more comfortable. The only people that are uncomfortable are the people that couldn't meet those standards anyway. And you don't want them.
One thing that singleness has taught me is that men, some men, let me not say all, because they not all the same, believe it or not. But men will have the audacity to come and interrupt your peace, interrupt what you have going on, just to waste your time. That's why you got to be really smart about who you give your time to. Not everybody deserves your time. And if you give everybody your time, you're doing something wrong. It's okay. It's okay to be choosy. Don't let nobody make you think that, oh, you're being too picky. You're right. You have to be picky. Because you know why? God said that you are more precious than a jewel. So you think that if you are that valuable, you can allow anybody into your life? Are you crazy? Come on now. Come on.
They didn't leave because you were too much. They stayed because you were too quiet. See, every time you lowered your standard, you didn't just lose power. You gave them permission to disrespect you. You begged for love in a relationship where you should have been loved effortlessly. You stayed where you were being emotionally starved, and they respected you less every single time you chose peace over pride. You let maybe he would change become your lullaby. You became a motivational speaker for a man who refused to grow. You started hiding your needs, explaining your words, shrinking yourself until you were barely visible. But guess what? They never clapped for your sacrifice. They just got comfortable. Because the lower your bar fell, the lazier their love became. But let me ask you this. What happens when a queen starts acting like a maid? Simple. They stop saying your crown. Rebuild your standards like a fortress. Stop playing humble when your worth is historic. You are not a ride or die. You are a love me right or leave woman. Set your bar so high, the wrong ones get a nosebleed trying to reach it. Let your absence become the consequence. Let your glow up become their karma.
I just saw a video of a woman who was running in a marathon, and when she looks over, she notices a friend of hers flew in from London to watch her finish. The friend flew in for like 24 hours. And she sees the friend and she immediately starts bawling. She's like crying and running. And you can tell she's like overjoyed that her friend would do such a thing. I think sometimes when men are questioning why women are choosing to be single, why some women don't want to be in relationships, and I think it's because for some women, they experience such rich relationships in their lives with their friendships and with their family, people who show up for them, who believe in them, who cheer for them, who hype them up, who give them all this confidence because they're always complimenting them and being sweet towards them. It's hard to go from that to a man who won't text you back, who won't call you, who doesn't compliment you, who doesn't plan dates. I think sometimes the other relationships in a woman's life set the standard for what she will and won't settle for. She's not going to let every other relationship in her life be amazing and hers with you be like her settling for the bare minimum.
You don't need to lower your standards. Honestly, listen, there's over 1 billion people in this world, right? You can go and find somebody who has what you're looking for. Stop letting society dictate. If you say, oh, this girl is a money-hungry bitch, all she wants is a man to pay her bills, oh, she's this, if you can't pay her bills, leave. There's another guy who does what he's looking for. I feel like we make things harder than it is with fighting online and our opinions and trying to shout on top of each other. If somebody is not what you're looking for, this is the urge to start trying to pinpoint what is wrong with them because it's actually a reflection of you and not them. That's what they want out of their lives. After all, there are people who wake up in the morning and believe that, you know what, I'm the best thing since sliced bread, I'm Queen Diana. And if they believe it and they think it and they're walking it, who are you to come and tell them that they are not?
Don't lower your standards or change your beliefs for somebody else. That's the right person out there for you. God is very fair. He will never not allow you to meet your soulmate as long as you're prepared to meet him. What you got to do is stop dating the men that you know ain't going nowhere because you know. You always know. You've never broken up with a guy and didn't realize, you know what, I knew it. You all know it because you have intuition. So if you're dating somebody you know is not going anywhere, why don't you stop right now, quit wasting your time, and sit and wait on your soulmate because he will walk up to you. You're not going to have to go find him. He's going to walk right up to you because we hunters. It's what we do.
Never apologize for having standards. And the beauty of standards is standards will always expose those who come with an agenda. And your emotional intelligence and biblical standards will always frustrate those who can't run game on you. It will always frustrate manipulators. Then what you have to be careful of is manipulators will try to project on you. They'll start to say things like, you got trust issues. How about, this is not trust issues. This is, I've seen this pattern before, and I refuse to entertain the same pattern of being deceived because I compromised my standards. To have standards is to be aware of your value. To have standards is to be aware that God set your value to priceless. Now, the danger in allowing people to give you value or give you significance is you give them the power to set your price. So you could be more valuable than the whole department store, but you will settle with being on the clearance rack just so that you can get their approval. And it's not a standard if you are not willing to experience loss. If you aren't willing to lose something due to your standard, it's not a standard, it's just a suggestion. Sometimes we have mislabeled victories because if you lost them, but found you, you really won. If the relationship failed, but now you have a prayer life, you really won. If you didn't get the position, but that wasn't what God had for you anyway, you really won. Never apologize for having standards.
Every man in here will climb the fence, no matter how high it is, to get to what he really wants. Every man in here will do it. But your fence can't be this high. Because if your fence is this high, a lot of men gonna step in your yard, play in the grass, and step right back out. But if you make your fence 12 feet high, when they get in your yard, they have a tendency to stay there because it was a long climb over the fence.
A man has one job: make your life easier. If he can't do that, he's a failure. Yeah, he's a failed man. But it starts with you. What are you willing to accept out of a man? Are you so desperate that you'll accept trash treatment from a man? That's pathetic. Just so you know, and I don't want to be your friend if that's the case. I only like princesses. Being a princess means you say no to low effort. The less effort he puts in, the less interest you should have. If you're used to low effort, it's because you've trained yourself to attract low effort. Low effort predator men see you and go, oh, I got that one. She won't require me to do anything. You haven't trained your no muscle. You know you can say no to a man. No. No thanks. No, that doesn't work for me, but thank you. You don't have to be a bitch about it. You don't have to say yes to everything a man asks you to do. You're not his servant. You're a queen. Say no and make him level up to your standards. Get a backbone. His job is to step up and lighten your load. You're not supposed to be a babysitter for him.
This is me telling you right now to never lower your standards. Like, if you see yourself as someone who has high standards, never lower them. Like, I'm telling you right now, a guy will go above and beyond for the girl that he loves, especially for the girl that he thinks he's gonna marry. Like, let me tell you something. So yesterday I was getting my little nails done. I was getting my nails done, okay? And I get a text from my boyfriend. He's like, hey, do you want me to cancel my flights tomorrow? Like, so we can spend the day together. I was like, hell yeah, I will, because he's been working like crazy. And then he comes home and he tells me, yeah, I wanted to cancel my flights because I just had the feeling of missing you. Like, I feel like I'm going to miss you so, so much. And I just wanted to spend the day with you because I just miss you. And I was like, what? He called off work because he misses me. And then he was like, okay, yeah, like, let's just have a date day. Like, me and you together. Like, we can just have a whole date day. Run errands, blah, 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 blah. I dropped dead on the floor right there. And then this morning, he, like, always kisses me before he leaves, never says goodbye, or never leaves without saying goodbye. And he whispers to me, he's like, oh, there's a little surprise for you on the counter. He was like, yeah, I just bought you a little gift because it reminded me of you. Like, I never have to beg for this man's attention. And better yet, he takes me on dates every single week, like more than once a week, and will always buy just because flowers if he's at the grocery store. I used to have to beg for that shit in my past relationships. I used to have to pay my own meal. He's like, yeah, I just want to spend as much time with you as possible because, like, you're leaving for a month. And I'm not saying I didn't want to spend any time with him. I just didn't want to beg him to call off of work because that's work and, like, money. But he just did it for me willingly, and it was just the cutest thing ever. So never lower your standards. Never.
Ladies, please don't date a guy if you definitely know that he is nowhere near your league. We're not out here collecting charity cases. Because let me tell you, when you date somebody who is not in your league, and you will know when this happens because they would be begging you to be in their life. Because they've already identified that, oh my god, here is this amazing woman. I need to make her mine. I need to lock that shit down. I need her in my life. And it's not because they love you. It's because they know that you will be elevating and upgrading them. And sometimes we can't help it because we think, why don't I give this guy a chance because I'm thinking of the potential. I'm thinking maybe he'll surprise me. Maybe things will work out. Let me save you from the stress, the heartache, and the waste of time. Chances are it'll start out great because you're in the love bombing stage. They will do, be, act, and talk like exactly how you want them to. And this is full-fledged manipulation, by the way, if you weren't aware of that yet. Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to prove themselves to you at this point. Which, honestly, girl, they should. But somewhere along the lines, when you get attached, you then forget that you are the catch. And then what happens is, this guy gets so used to you being around, and you're all lovey-dovey and everything, and you're starting to do things for this person. And somewhere along the lines, they will start upgrading, or they will start to think that, hello, this woman is dating me. I must be the shit. And then this is where things get a little messy because the roles are being reversed. He is no longer in golden retriever energy. You are no longer gonna be in black cat energy because you will then be chasing this person whose ego has just like massively inflated because of your presence in his life. And when that happens, he's gonna lose attraction for you because now he thinks that he can go out and get any woman out there who he wouldn't have pursued before. And he will have this blind confidence. But here's the thing, they will never leave you for someone who is better than you. They will leave you for somebody who is gonna put up with their shit that you no longer have the patience for. So don't think of it like, oh my God, I lost the love of my life. That is not the love of your life. First of all, from the very beginning of that relationship, he was not gonna cut it already. What you did was charity work. Because you put in the time, the effort, the resources into up-leveling this man, boy, guy, whatever. And you did that for free. And honestly, I can only laugh about this now because I've done my part in the healing. I've gotten over that. But I can definitely pinpoint some relationships in my past, not a relationship, but some relationships where I maybe shouldn't have even bothered.
So when I was in college, I used to club hop a lot, and that's because I went to school out in New York City, and there was house parties going on, but if you really wanted to like go out and experience the city and have fun, you would usually go to the club on the weekends. And I remember I used to go out with my girls, be dressed to the nines, feeling really good, super sexy, and men would not approach me. And I used to think like, okay, like, is it me? Like, what's going on? And it wasn't until I got older that men didn't approach me because of the energy that I gave off. I never was the pick-me girl or the girl who gave off like one-night stand vibes. And that signaled to them that I was not going to be an easy pickup for the night. So for all my women who do go to clubs and do go to bars, do not lower your standards for male attention. And
Ladies, never lower your standards for any reason. I know sometimes certain situations may lead you to want to make choices that will cause you to lower your standards just a little bit. Don't do it. The moment you decide to bend just a little bit, you wake up one day and not recognize the person in the mirror. Never lower your standards. Set high standards in all areas of your life. Your values, relationships, career, goals, all aspects of life. Set high standards and do not lower them. Society tries to tell women what they should and shouldn't do, how to live their life, standards for your relationships. You can't just date any random guy, a dusty, somebody who is a narcissist. Have a standard for the kind of person that can be a partner to you. Know what you want, what you can tolerate, what you can't. Set a standard also in friendships. Know the kind of people you want to be a part of your circle. Stay away from friends who don't share the same values as you, people who do not have goals, dreams, who have nothing going on for them. Stay away from such people. Stay away from that friend that gives you the tea on everyone. I was studying my Bible the other day and I came across this verse that says, "He who goes about as a talebearer reveals secrets. Therefore, associate not with him who talks too freely." When I read this, I was shook. Stay away from that friend that's always giving you the tea on everyone. She will soon serve your tea to others. Walk with people who are aligned with you. Set goals in your career. Set a standard. Have career goals. Make a plan. Implement your plan by breaking it down into smaller, actionable steps so you don't get overwhelmed. Get a mentor, network, and align with those who are on the same path with you. Set your standards for your finances. Invest, save, spend less, acquire assets that will pay for your liabilities. I personally don't borrow anyone money. That's the standard I set for myself. If someone is in need and they come to me to borrow money, if the money they want is 50k and I have 20k, I just tell them this is what I have to support you and I give them the 20k. I learned that from one of my mentors. That way I can protect my peace. Set a standard for your health. Exercise. Eat healthy. Don't overindulge. Health is a form of wealth. So set a standard, ladies, in every area of life and do not let anyone bully or manipulate you to lower them. Ladies, that's all for today's video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.